We are here with Vessi Jalkanen, who is an inventor and ergonomics expert with a specialization in sitting health. Okay, you wanted to make that very clear. Why is it important to make that distinction about sitting health?
Well, we are sitting more than we are sleeping. So actually people are spending anything from 10 to 16 hours a day in sitting. And so it has tremendous effect on our body health and metabolics. People are not aware of that, how much it affects all over the body. And that's why I want to be sitting health expert, which can help people in their productivity and health all around.
Very nice, very nice. And so what's your plan for your talk with me today? You have some ideas, you have an agenda?
Yeah, well, I want to show first a couple of words about myself. So I became aware of sitting. I've been riding all my life, and I once got in contact with the doctor, and he hinted me to start sitting on a riding type of position. That was exactly 30 years ago, and this opened up a new career and new business for me, because the old stupid way of 1990 sitting is very bad for us, for our health, for our looks, for our productivity. And so I dived into a new world where I'm learning things all the time, and I want to share that.
Yeah, so you want to give some background about your story, which you just did. You wanted to do a tour of some of your workspace. No, you want to talk about the importance of sitting health. Then you want to show some of your inventions.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So my assistant is keeping the camera, and I'm showing a few points in my office, which are, it has this width adjustment.
Hold on a sec. Can you rewind and go back to just when you started to do the demo at the beginning?
Okay.
Sorry.
I want to show you a few things in my office which are typical for this developed and advanced sitting health world of mine.
Okay.
We start from my chair, which is this swinging mechanism, and it has also width adjustment. Of course, the height, and this is supporting my sit bones, but doesn't press my tailbone, pelvic floor, or genitals. Mm-hmm. And I'm sitting on this chair with my shorts, because it's still summertime in Finland, so I'm wearing shorts almost like half a year. And these shorts are designed by me, because the healthy sitting clothing is part of the picture. And then I'm using this table. If you put a little bit further out and show my AutoSmart. So I have also this AutoSmart table with 3 monitors, and the table automatically follows me if I'm typing or reading. And it's a little bit lower automatically in the afternoon, because our spine gets compressed in the afternoon, and that's why the table also needs to be lower. We forget to adjust it, but that's why it is automatically in my software. Mm-hmm. And the same automatic functions work if I'm sitting or standing. The only thing what I need to choose is the button between standing and sitting. Everything else is automatic. And these 3 large monitors make me move my head around, and so my neck muscles and the body gets a little bit more activation, and that's also good for circulation. I talk more about circulation later. On my table, which is the big table, you can see that I have this pelvic bone model, which I often need to use in demonstrating and teaching people in expos and everywhere. And then, of course, we have the big spine. And Daria can show me when I go a little bit further. Yes. That in my office, I have some physical activation things. So with these boots, I'm hanging with my head down and stretching my spine. And with this flexi bar, I'm training my shoulders. And I have this tennis racket with a cover on that I can do also my favorite sport, swings, to activate my muscles that way, I have here my biceps machine, which I can also use in the daytime. And of course, I have my kettlebells, which are also super fun to have a few swings during the day. And with these things, I'm activating. You can put it back. With these things, I'm activating both my circulation, giving a little bit of training effect during the day, but I'm also activating BDNF. Biohacker spectators know what is BDNF, so I don't need to explain that. And so changing between sitting and standing, doing these exercises, going to see my friends and going to the stairs whenever possible, I can spend my day with physical and mental active state all the time without getting tired.
Okay, well, thank you so much for that whirlwind tour of your office. A lot to process there, but I mean, let's zoom out and talk about the principles again and the fundamentals. Okay, you're saying it's around BDNF, brain-derived neurotropic factor, which is what stimulates growth of new brain cells, essentially. What are the principles? What are the core principles? You have to stay moving.
The very important principle is to get a good posture.
Okay.
So that this is fundamentally well. So we need to be sitting. So that, can you turn this a little bit that it shows this way? So we need to have a posture where we have a lumbar curve in the spine, because this curve puts us in the good posture where not only that our spine stays healthy, but also our gut flow works well. The breathing is deep. The head is in a right place on top of our shoulders, meaning that then also these big vessels under these muscles produce a good flow into the brain.
Okay.
And I'm very much devoted to understand and make people aware about the circulation. So we have tremendous blood circulation system with about 100,000 kilometers of microvessels, but then we have this lymphatic circulation system with about 300,000 to 400,000 kilometers of vessels. So put together, we have 400,000 to 500,000 kilometers of microvessels in the body, which need to be working all the time to keep us healthy and energetic.
Okay,
and
so
that is why. Yeah.
So you were talking about first principle being focus on your posture, make sure you have that curve in your spine. Okay. Yes. Second principle, sitting for circulate or keeping the circulation going. What's the story there?
The circulation going is that, first of all, these vessels should be in good condition so that the connective tissue around the microvessels is flexible and dynamic, which is helping the flow. And secondly, you definitely need to have good posture, minimize the body tensions, muscle tensions, so that the flow can be as good as possible. Increase the body activity, and then stop definitely all extra pressure of the bad furniture to yourself. And that's why we are using this furniture with the gap in the middle, and which is supporting the sit bones only and holding you up in a good posture. And for that reason, I'm also wearing my sandals. These are my round-the-year shoes. So I'm also using sandals in the wintertime, and in Finland we have frost and snow. If I need to be a longer time in the deep snow, then I have boots. Okay. And because of this, my feet have very good circulation. They are very warm, and of course I'm an ice swimmer as well. But the clothing makes tremendous difference, and that's why I want to make everybody aware that you need to eliminate all clothes which are preventing the circulation, meaning all clothes which leave any marks on your body. Socks and shoes usually do that. Underwear usually do that. bra and panties. Belts often do that. Even tight trousers, when you are sitting down, they press your genitals and buttocks and in the waist. They are all bad clothing. Just get rid of them. And that's why my shorts here, I'll change the camera a little bit. My shorts here are that I have two seams. You may not see that very well, but I have also the long trousers and overalls, which I have designed myself. They have two seams, and so when I stick out my butt to sit on something, they don't press the pelvic floor and the genitals. So, and not these lymph areas which are on the side of the stomach. And that's why I guarantee good flow in my body all the time.
Okay, so we've got a nice principle there of not constricting the flow with clothing, bringing it back to the sitting health as well. You said the first principle is posture for keeping the circulation going and working well. Sorry. Then you also said that you have to also stimulate that via movement. So part of sitting health is about getting up and moving and standing sometimes. How do you decide the ratio of that? How do you calculate that?
My recommendation is that people should stand 10 to 30% of the time, but not long times, only 10 to 20 minutes at the time. So if we look at natural animals, when you look at the cat or a dog, when they move, they move. When they stop, they lie down. They don't stay standing. No animal stays standing for voluntarily. And that's why standing is bad for our joints. If we understand the structure of the cartilage in our knees and hips, it's a flexible material which loves dynamic pressure. And when we are walking, we are creating dynamic pressure to that. When we stand, we are not. And so they get squeezed and the microcirculation stops.
So this is very important, because I know in the biohacker circles and in the Silicon Valley circles and all these knowledge workers, it's all about standing desks. It's all about standing. You're saying there is strong research to show that you should only stand 20%, maximum 20% of your time?
That's right. 10 to 30% of the time.
10 to 30%.
I have been talking to a chief doctor, health doctor of a big candy factory, which is a very old and traditional candy factory in Finland. They have had standing jobs for more than 100 years. Yeah. And he sees there are bad results about all time standing. Okay. People get a lot of problems when they age.
Okay, so then let's take that one as a recommendation. Standing 10 to 30% max. How do you calculate that timing? Do you have a timer, or do you just have it instinctually?
You need to read your body and listen to your body, and it's very much up to what your body is like. So if you are very balanced and very slim and light and good joints, you can stand more. And if you are heavy and you already have starting osteoarthritis, you want to stand very little. So It's up to the person. But you need to be conscious about that and not have this kind of value in your head that the more standing is better. It's not.
Okay, that's very good to know. Thank you for making that clear. Now we're going back to the brain-derived neurotropic factor, BDNF, which is stimulated. So you want to be standing and sitting and dynamic there, and you also want to build in some movement. You were showing us your toys. What's your movement protocol? You do that every hour, every day? Well, how does that work for you?
Well, I do physical exercises and sports about 10 hours a week, but during the day I try to break also my working time into motion actions as often as possible. But of course, when I get focused on some work, it might take too long to be totally immobile, but I try to keep it up.
Like once every hour, once every couple of hours? How does it work?
Definitely you need to move more than one time in an hour. Yeah. And change between sitting and standing and then move around. But I try to do a couple of times in the morning and a couple of times in the afternoon, some exercise with the tools what I have in my office. So I try to produce PDNF a couple of times before lunch and a couple of times in the afternoon.
Very nice. Okay, so you punctuate with a little session. How long are those sessions, those movement sessions?
Just a few minutes.
A few minutes. Okay, yeah. Very nice. So very nice. So like two in the morning, 2 in the evening, 2 in the afternoon.
My shirt doesn't get wet.
Sorry?
About the shirt, by the way, this also the same principle. I would like all the people in the world to start totally sleeveless shirts. When it gets cold and I go,
you might as well be naked.
Naked would be better, socially not so easily acceptable. Besides, when we are in a cool temperature, the core, your trunk, that needs warmth. So you don't want to be cold in your tummy or in your back. And that's why the body warmers, which don't have any sleeves, which are keeping your tummy and back warm, they are perfect clothing. So I suggest people to have them outside. And when you have your arms like free, it gives you energy because the skin wants to react with the air, the sun, the rain, the wind, and that is giving us energy. And that's why the legs and the arms should be uncovered as much as possible. Nice. It's absolutely unphysiological and it's stupid to cover the skin, which is the biggest organ in the body. And so also the help circulation when we are keeping it uncovered. And also for sunlight exposure as well. So you've shared a bunch of nice principles and fundamentals. Did we miss anything from the collection? So, or do you want to go over anything else? I want to make a little bit people more aware. Now, will you take the camera, Daria? I want to show one little very important demo what people don't understand and they don't know. So we know here we have a pelvic floor model. The white bone is plastic, and here we have pelvic floor muscles. This happens to be female. Yeah. And I want to demonstrate that when we have these sitting bones, here, when we have the sitting bones here called ischiatuberosities, the weight should be on them, not on the buttocks, not on the thighs, and not on the pelvic floor or genitals. And so we should put those bones on both sides of the gap, and then we should put the body weight over there. And as you can see, nothing really happens in the internal soft tissues. But if we put the pelvic model on the side of the chair and we put some pressure over there, you can see how this material is pushing in. Here, nothing in the center. And then there is a lot of push in when we don't have the gap in the sitting. And people are not aware. Just a moment. People are not aware that they are hurting their internal organs in the pelvic and their genital and their hormonal health, and when they are sitting with the pressure on their pelvics. Okay. And also the statistics show this. So when we look at the statistics, this so-called pelvic scoop, this tiny little space, which is little more than 1 liter in women, a little less than 1 meter in men, 24% of all cancer in women is there.
Oh my God.
47% of all male cancer is there. So this is the center of illnesses because we are sitting so much and we are creating the pressure inside through the pelvic opening. We are creating the pressure inside the pelvic. And that's why it is so important to sit on the gap.
Okay. And that's a nice sort of promotion for your brand. What is your brand? If anyone wants to look it up.
Yeah, it's Salli.com, and it's more like sitting welfare philosophy than the furniture brand. And my mission is more like help people to become aware and avoid the stupid bad sitting which is hurting them.
Exactly, and the easy thing, if they want to be conscious of this and invest in one of your products, they can go to your website, they can get that saddle, they can get the gap. What is the tip for someone who can't afford it or is on the other side of the planet where you're not delivering or something? What is the next best thing from buying one of your chairs?
Well, we are exporting to over 70 countries, so we are quite easily available. And then you can order online from European Amazon and from our own web shop. But
what if you're traveling?
What?
What if you're traveling or on the road or something, you know, you don't have the seat with you?
Okay, when I'm traveling, I have a product called Salli Driver. It is not a saddle chair, but it is a sitting aid with a sitting part and leaning part, which I wrap together and put it on the handle of my cabin bag. And I sit on that in airplanes and cars and hotel rooms. And it has the gap in the middle, so it is keeping my testosterone and my genital health in order, which is important to me. I'm almost 70, so I like to have my health there now and for a long time in the future.
Yeah, nice.
And so I really urge people to put focus on how their body feels in different positions. We know how much low back pain we have, which only comes from sitting in a normal way, where we are not sitting 90-90, but we are sitting C90. The C means like rounded back, where it automatically gets destroyed sooner or later. And the 90 is the hip and the knee angles which are damaging you. Okay.
Well, thank you so much for sharing with us, Vessi. It's been a pleasure. We will put links to your brand. What's the brand again? Salli?
Salli. Salli.com. Yes. S-A-L-L-I. Salli.
.com. Okay, great. That's easy. That's very nice and easy. Thank you for taking the time today. Looking forward to our next interview, and yeah, sit well.
It was very big pleasure to share this information with our expert audience, which really values good health and productivity.
Thank you, Vessi.